I'm filming outside in the garden today because it's just such a beautiful day. One of those really still, sultry summer mornings, or, well, it's kind of midday now. Absolutely beautiful. Just soaking up the rays. Hi guys, how are you all doing? Something I've been thinking about quite a lot recently is simplicity and paring things back and being happy with less, essentially. And I've kind of come to the realisation that when it comes to clutter clearing and minimalism and just generally being happy to live with less stuff, it's not just about the sort of space that you create when you do this. It's not just about environmentalism. It's not just about reducing that sort of consumer mindset in order to be happier. I feel like it's also to do with getting in touch with what actually makes you happy on a really basic level, and kind of stripping back all the sort of padding in your life and having a look at what's actually there underneath all that stuff. Because I think we surround ourselves with so much activity, so many things and people, and we're always busy, and there's all this stuff going on physically and mentally and emotionally. And I think we can really lose track of how it is that we actually want to feel. And we also often don't really know how happy we actually are, because one thing goes wrong, one thing falls away, a relationship ends, a friendship ends, we lose our job, something changes or doesn't go according to plan, and suddenly we stumble and we're just devastated, and we find that all the things that we thought mattered suddenly don't seem to matter anymore. And I mean, having those ups and downs, having those moments of devastation is obviously inevitable. I mean, I think no matter how happy you are with yourself and in yourself, there will always be things that will happen to you. Well, if you lose people that you love and stuff like that, that will always be devastating to you. But I think sometimes these kind of situations people end up in, these kind of sad or distressing events in life, can really actually show how shallow the things that you thought were important actually really are. And I think they can really open you up to the lack of foundation that you actually have for your own happiness and your own life. So I think that as an exercise, being a minimalist for a while, living with less stuff, I think it's actually worth doing in order to have a look at what is actually there when you take everything away, Get used to being by yourself in your own company. Get used to not being distracted once in a while, Get used to going out for a walk by yourself and just letting everything that's in your mind bubble up. Get used to not just feeding your insatiable desire for more stuff, more things, more clothes, more books, more knowledge, more anything. I think we have these goals that we set up for ourselves. We have things that we want to learn, that we want to achieve. We want to look a certain way. We want to portray a certain thing. We want certain things to go certain ways in our lives. But I think having goals like that, it is really important. It's important for us to feel like we're going somewhere, that we're achieving something, that we're moving in some meaningful direction, because purpose and meaning in life seems to be really, really important for humans. But at the end of the day, all you have is right now. That's all you have, that's all you're certain of, and that is all you're ever going to experience. Think about that. All you are ever going to experience is the now, this moment, right here. And those goals, they stretch on and on. Those goals, you never arrive. You never really reach those goals, because sure, you say to yourself, my goal is to finish writing my novel. But you finish writing your novel and then you have to edit it. And even when you get to the point where you've got a finished draft, there's always the next goal. You never reach that point of satisfaction, because that's what the whole human condition is all about. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. I have absolutely nothing against setting goals, and I think it's a wonderful thing that even when you do reach a specific goal, whatever it may be, that there will be more goals that sort of flood in and keep you excited, keep you going, they keep you moving. But at the same time, I think it's important to accept and to know that your happiness is not on the horizon. Your happiness is not going to hit you suddenly one day when you reach that point, when you arrive. Your happiness is now. And if you are not comfortable sitting in your own company with nothing to distract you, with no TV, with no books, with no other people, if you can't sit in that stillness and be completely happy, everything else that you build up on that is going to be shaky. It's not going to be based on a solid foundation of self-love and satisfaction and peace. So I think there's no harm in building up on that foundation. Like, we need people, we need stuff, we do need a certain amount of stuff, and yeah, having stuff can really contribute to our happiness, especially if it's stuff that we use to do meaningful and purposeful things, like art materials, a really nice camera, internet access so that we can reach people and make meaningful connections. And obviously our relationships with other people are hugely important to us. We are social animals, and not only that, but everything in Cosmos is intertwined with everything else, and relationship is inevitable and necessary. It's how everything exists. Everything exists in relationship, and trying to move beyond that and outside of that is foolish. But I think it's still important to scale all that back now and again and have a look at what lies underneath, and really get honest with yourself about what state you really are in when you clear away all the bullshit, and even when you clear away all the important stuff as well. Even when you clear away all the stuff that you're working on, all those goals, all your creative pursuits, your meaningful relationships, and all that stuff that you've built up in your life and that you're working towards. Yes, it's important, but in this moment, right now, here and now, how are you doing really? Are you just pushing your happiness onto the horizon? I think we will always feel that way. We will always be striving for greater happiness and striving, for something more. But yeah, I think I see it as sort of like maintaining the foundation. You have to do those checks every now and then, go back and check for cracks and see how it's all doing, because otherwise I don't think you can really achieve really satisfactory happiness and a feeling of satisfaction and peace in your life if you don't have that firm foundation of knowing that if everything falls away, you will be okay. And not only will you be okay, but you'll be happy and fulfilled and satisfied and in the moment and at peace. Once you push through any negative emotions and any hurt and pain, it's important to know that even if you lose it all, even if nothing goes right, even if you don't achieve those goals, there will be more goals, and you have a certain level of happiness, really core, contented happiness of sort of, it's personal power, I suppose, and just and self-love, and an ability to be at peace and be happy in the here and now. Much love, guys. I wish you all the best. I hope that you can all start to work on this, particularly if you're one of those people who is incapable of being in your own company without feeling uncomfortable. Talk to you again soon.